What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GG Gaming. Today is Thursday, August 15th, I think. It's 7:29 p.m. as we're recording this, and I am your host, Andrew. With me, I have my co-hosts, Alpha Stoutland.
What's up, guys?
And Apocalypso.
Hi.
Alright, guys. Last week we had Ash and Papaginos with us. But both of them couldn't make it today, which is fine. Everybody's busy. We all know that. But if you listened to it on YouTube, there is an audio... Oh, wait, they are all audio only. I gotta get used to that transition from live. I didn't put it up on Anchor yet, in case anybody listens to it through anything connected to Anchor, such as... I don't know. Whatever it's connected to. But yeah, I'm going to try to get that up today and potentially this episode up right after. But let's get into it because we only got really an hour. I know I said that last weekend we went for like 2 hours. 2 hours. But so, what have you guys been up to?
You want to go first, Dan, or?
Yeah, sure. I had a dentist appointment today.
Oh,
I had to get a filling.
ooh.
My mouth was numb for like a lot longer than they said it would be able to. So it was like they said probably wear off around 1:30. It didn't wear off until like after 2. So I had a pretty late lunch.
Mm-hmm. I remember I've had a couple of fillings, and I remember going to Wendy's afterwards and trying to eat a hamburger and a frosty and stuff. It's just like trying not to chew my tongue off while I'm eating this, but I'm starving.
Knock on wood, I've never had a filling. I've never had a cavity, but that could change like right now. I could get a cavity just because I said that.
They explicitly told me not to eat anything until it wore off. So I did what I was told.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of food, I was on a little bit of a diet for the past. Well, not a little bit, but I've been following the Weight Watchers couple of weeks, and today I just ate like a pig, and I felt so bad. Today's the first time since I started my diet that I'm really full, and it's like a little painful, so I'm not used to it. So I'm like kicking myself in the ass, and I'm like, tomorrow I'm gonna get back on it.
Sometimes you just gotta splurge.
Mm-hmm.
I did that on Sunday, though, so I should not have done that again today. I'm so mad.
Bad Drew.
Yeah, you really probably shouldn't. I mean, I'm very close to being underweight, so I can't really speak about this. But you probably shouldn't overeat like more than one day in a week, because that could probably
kind of just like
be very bad.
I don't know, because without going into detail, money was tight this week, and I was just like, whatever gets put on the table is probably what I'm going to eat. And of course it was fattening. And I was like, I guess I'm going to eat this and enjoy it.
I guess so.
I guess I'll be fat.
Yay, carbs.
You
Chinese food. So, game-wise, well, actually, Alpha, what have you been up to before game-wise, unless you've only been up to games?
I've been up to a little bit this week. Yesterday, I'm recording this Thursday. Yesterday, Wednesday, we moved my brother into NC State University. As I talked about last week, he's got a full ride with the Goodnight Scholarship and Teaching Fellows programs, and it was a weird night, honestly, with him being gone, because I mean, we're all super close siblings, thankfully, and it's definitely different, but I trust that he's going to be okay. I think he's going to have a good time. He actually went on a little outing today with his Teaching Fellows group, and so he seems to be having a good time so far. I haven't talked to him today, but I'm sure he's doing well. Game-wise, I did download Double Cross, that indie game that came out a few months back. I have not got the chance to play it yet. I'm still soft resetting for Shiny Pheromosa. I'm currently at like 31, 35, I think. Besides that, I really haven't done much. Haven't really played Smash too much. Haven't picked Hollow Knight back up. Haven't played Let's Go Eevee lately. So I'm trying to clean up around my house and my room and stuff and get that in order, especially now that my brother's gone, and just get all my clothes put up and where they're supposed to get, and just, take stock of what needs to get put up and stuff before I start playing on games, because I really want to start working on videos, and I have to pick and choose what I spend my time doing now because adulting. So, but yeah,
adulting.
Yeah, but I am excited to play Double Cross because that game caught my attention when it came out. I was like, ooh, this looks fun. So if you guys, anybody in the comments has played that, let me know how it is, because I got on sale for like $12. So, but I'm also very happy to hear that A Hat in Time is getting a physical release in October. So that's awesome. I've been wanting to play that game for a while, and of course I'm still waiting.
In that. And then I did see you. I did see you retweet that, and I was like, maybe I'll have to try this out now. Because I'm one of those people who prefers physical games, and if it's a digital only, I might not get it.
Mm-hmm. Now, Hollow Knight was a rare exception just because it was on sale. So,
sorry. I actually did a Smash Brainstorm for Hat Kid, and I had Bo Kid, and I had Bo Kid be the alt character.
Nice.
We need more alts in Smash.
Yes, we do. Yes,
we need more Smash.
It's not like it's not like we don't talk about it every single time this podcast.
I know.
But yeah,
rare opportunity. Yeah.
But I had a little bit of a beef with Nintendo the other day because I found out that the Brawl BRTSM X3S YouTube channel was terminated.
Yeah, man.
Is that the one that was playing Nintendo music or something? I only heard of
had
something
all
like
manner of music on Nintendo stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I had extended soundtracks for, like, even after they deleted all their Nintendo stuff, it still got terminated.
Someone's gonna be re-uploading them.
That's a bummer because I had a few on my blog, on my Smash blog, my Smash Brainstorm blog. I had an Ever Oasis stage and had a few songs in the post linked to those videos of his, and now they're gone. And also I got the Tethu's Victory theme from his channel as well, so I'll have to find it again, uploaded by somebody else, because I wasn't able to find it before, and that was the only one I could find.
That's actually got me a little concerned about putting background music in the podcast.
Yeah, man.
The thing is, since it's low and we're talking over it, it's not clear audio, and I think that could kind of skirt the. Hold on, I gotta sneeze.
Woo! Bliss!
I might leave that in.
You could just mute, right?
Oh,
I could have, but I wanted everybody to hear it. No.
Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
I did have to say real quick, just a real quick little tangent. My buddy, for a while, when he sneezed, he would go, "Sneeze!" And I was like, why? But okay. But he would sneeze while saying sneeze. It was weird.
What if when I sneezed, I went, or something like really different, like high pitched?
It's practically a cough usually. It's like.
Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, the music. I've seen people like show reactions to watching episodes of things, and I think they usually get around it by mirroring the image, and so I think as long as it's somewhat edited, and I think in this case with, talking over it and the music being low, I think it kind of skirts it a bit, but maybe it's not. I really don't know. So I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep the background music going, especially if it's going to be harder to come across extended versions. So I'll see. It's something I would like to continue doing, but I don't know if it's going to keep going. But I'd like to.
I got a copyright claim from some music company on my E3 2019 reaction because of the song that was used during the whole lineup of games that was shown.
Yeah,
that was a copyrighted song because I had the whole thing shown in there. I got a copyright claim, so it wasn't a copyright strike. The video game didn't get taken down, but they were making money from my own reaction, and I didn't get it, and I didn't get a cent.
I had something like that when I was doing I only did like a few episodes of like streaming, working on art, and I was listening to music in the background while I worked, and so it picked up on that, and they wanted to claim it, and I was like, sure, why not? I'm not making money off of it anyway. So I was like, all right. And then after that, I just was listening to like the like Smash Bros soundtrack. But they're making it harder to stream artwork in that sense because I like to listen to things while I like draw. Like I don't want it to just be silent. So
and then in that same reaction, I also had a there was a another copyright claim by what's it called? The company that does that the company is making Demon Ex Machina, because I had too much of a trailer uncommentated, even though I was like the first part of it was I was pretty much silent while I was taking everything in, but then after the second part of it, like I was just honking constantly, and I still got copyright claim for it. I tried to dispute it, and they rejected it. That kind of stinks.
Yeah, and I understand to an extent because it isn't your own work, but when you add commentary over it, it kind of makes it. I mean, I don't know. Copyright's such a tricky thing. It's such a fickle thing on YouTube. It really is. But I mean, you've got to have music and stuff that isn't just no copyright sounds or Kevin MacLeod. I mean, there's other music on the internet that you want to use and listen to in videos besides just those. And I love Kevin MacLeod's stuff. I mean,
that is a great, backup. So. I'm sure I could find some Kevin MacLeod music to play in the background. Like,
30 minutes of monkey spinning monkeys.
The thing is, commentary falls under fair use.
Yeah.
Like with copyright law. So like they shouldn't even technically be allowed to do that because what I'm doing is commentary.
But here's the problem that a lot of YouTubers are facing. It'll probably cost you money to fight it.
Yeah, that's what stinks about it, man. I mean, you're fighting a losing battle, and that's sad. That
the
it's
laws
that
aren't
point.
perfect. They need to, especially in this new age of technology or whatever. The laws need to catch up with some modern
social
stuff.
media.
Yeah, current media.
Which I am very happy with WayForward and David Kaufman because all the Shantae music I've used in my videos, the only thing that's been copyrighted was the Tasseltown remix by Meatrice, that Tasseltown Electric Swing remix that's like super awesome. But they made that rendition so they can copyright it because it's their version of the song. And so it's actually under this whole Radio Bunny label and stuff, so it's actually an official thing. But WayForward, David Kaufman, none of them have copyright stricken any of my Shantae speculation videos for images, for music, and I'm like, man, I could make some money off of these.
Part of the problem is that, if I understand correctly, they might not want to, like they might be fine with it, but YouTube might have an algorithm that would just pick up on it anyway and automatically say that, like I don't know how it works. It sounds like so I might just be talking out of my ass or something. But I think it's basically, my assumption is that they'll have an algorithm that picks up on it, and then they might reach out to whoever owns it. So I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know.
If I was the head of an indie game company, which I actually know somebody who's sort of a game developer, but he doesn't know a whole lot of coding. But if I was an indie game developer, I would probably let people upload the soundtrack of my games to YouTube, and I wouldn't do anything about it because that would actually help business. If it's really good music, people will want to play the games, and it's for the music,
like marketing.
And it's marketing done by other people. I don't have to pay a cent, and I get more money, and it just works out all around. And big game companies don't seem to understand that people doing playthroughs and posting music for the games actually helps them rather than hurt them.
That's
because
true.
it makes people want to play those games for the music or the gameplay or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I mean, people play these games so they can share it with other people. That's why people do Let's Plays to start with. They spend money so they can make money entertaining people. And when you throw a monkey wrench in there, and it's like, well, sure, you can buy our games, but you can't make any money off of it now that you bought it, having fun with it. It's so anti-consumer to me. And I understand not taking credit because obviously you didn't make the game. You might have paid for it, but it's still not your game. You might have bought it, but you didn't make it. So there should still be obviously that credit, the whole so-and-so, copyright by so-and-so, and all that jazz, and the description and stuff, this is not my own. But you should still be able to make money off of it if you took and spent your hard-earned money to buy it and play it for YouTube. So I don't want to sound like, that entitled millennial mindset, but at the same time, it's just like, you pay money for stuff to enjoy it. And if you're a Let's Player and you want to have it in other people enjoy it with you, you can't do that fully if you can't make money to make more videos and buy more games, etc. So it's just a constant cycle of bruh.
There's it's kind of like asking, if I bought a game and people were at my house and I want to show them the game, is the company who made it entitled to make the money off of the fact that I'm showing it to my friends? The only difference is it's through a TV screen.
Very true.
So, I don't know. I think there needs to be some adjustments, and I don't know.
It's like video word of mouth, honestly.
Yeah, because
it really is.
Yeah.
The problem is copyright law is like 10 times more complicated than it needs to be. It's just like there's so much what's the word? There's so much
jargon, red tape.
There's so much accounted for so many situations that realistically will never come up. Mm-hmm. And like if we just had more simpler copyright laws that allowed people more freedom, as long as if I was to revise copyright law, I would say you can use other people's copyrighted work as long as you acknowledge it's not yours, and you can even make money off of it as long as the original company makes a certain cut, like a certain small cut from that, because
or gives you permission to do it.
Yes.
And I don't know the correct answer, and I'm not claiming that I know it. It's just I think that I'm pretty sure. I feel confident that it needs a lot of work. The law.
Yeah.
But
which YouTube copyright's just a mess anyway. It's crazy. Mm-hmm. Especially these last, I don't know. I hate it because YouTube has changed so much in the last, especially 5 or 6 years since Google bought it out. And it's just, I don't know. YouTube used to be a place where you could go on and watch funny videos and watch creators pour their heart into their videos and stuff. And now it's just become TV. I get so aggravated with all the ads and commercials I'm like, I don't want to watch a 30-second ad. I want to watch Corey Kenshin play a video game. I want to watch Arlo talk about Paper Mario Color Splash. I want to watch this video. I don't want to watch a commercial like TV. It's just, it's gotten so far from, I know. Like, and it's just,
thing is, I'm like watching like several parts of the Persona 5 playthrough, and like I'm getting ads like every 30 seconds. It's ridiculous.
Oy.
And like some of the ads are even like 30 seconds long and stuff like that. So I'm spending more time watching ads than I am actually watching the playthrough.
Good grief.
I will say that sometimes when an ad comes on, especially in the middle of something I'm watching, I tend to want to close the video. Because to me, it's kind of like, well, this is over now. Like, so, like, I just don't have the patience for ads. So,
like, I have AdBlock Plus installed on Chrome, but I have it disabled for YouTube because I know that's how YouTube creators make money through ads. But it's still, I mean, I can do something about it, but I'm not going to, because I don't want to deny creators their money, because that's just selfish, to be honest.
Well, anyway.
And for the most part, most people, unlike certain Smash YouTubers, put a decent amount of ads in their videos. They don't put 12. They usually put one at the front, one in the middle, one at the end. So it's like, yeah, okay, I'll bite. But
I only have,
like 20. You said, every 30 seconds, it's just like, okay, this is ridiculous. So
I only have 20 subscribers, so I'm not even eligible for ads.
Yeah.
Y'all should subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
Enough about copyright. Let's just talk about games.
Yeah. What I've been up to, aside from the dieting and failing today, I've been continuing to play Dragon Quest 5 in this case, and today I actually just beat it. But
really,
I still got some bonus stuff to play, like a bonus dungeon. But in terms of the main story, I finished that today, and it might be my second favorite out of 1 through 5 so far.
What'd you say is your favorite? 4?
3.
3. Okay.
The 5 is now up there, competing for that slot.
Cool.
But there was a couple of issues I had with it, just like nitpicky things. I noticed, because you can recruit monsters in this game to your party, which is really awesome.
Cool.
But one of the things I noticed towards the end game, when you have monsters and more party members, it seems like when you enter a town, the game has a tendency to change your lineup so that you only have the people or your main party instead of monsters. So then when you exit the town, your lineup stays as what it was changed to in the town. So every time you leave the town, then you got to readjust your lineup. So that was one thing that I found a little annoying. Okay. And other than that, there was some interesting, like, quote-unquote gimmicks that monsters did to you. Like, there was one because you have the ability to give your party members certain tactics to fight. This way, the game kind of takes control of them. I tend to play with I forget the phrase, but basically control all my characters so I can say what to do each turn. But you can change up the tactics to have like focus on healing, focus on like backing me up, etc. So there's one enemy towards the end game that, and I think a couple of other enemies throughout the game, had the ability to change your party's tactics. I was like, what? Like, I've never seen that before. So there was like this enemy that, like, in the text on the bottom, during the battle, would say like so and so mimicked the hero's name, and I named him Andrew, so it's like so and so mimicked Andrew's voice and says defend me or something like that. So all the tactics for the party changed to defend me, and whatever you told them to do changes to that. And that was annoying, but wasn't too bad, because then just the beginning of the next turn you have to change the tactics again, which was a little annoying. But one of the more annoying enemies are the ones that and I think there was only one or two that did this, but they basically ram into your opponent, or sorry, they ram into one of your party members, and it throws them back into the wagon, which is where you carry like your other party members. So they get removed from the battle, and you only have up to 4 slots. So if you had 4, it goes down to 3. But then at the end of the battle, they stay in the wagon, so you got to change your lineup again. So it's like annoying to have to keep changing that.
It's just tedious.
Yeah, it's just tedious as a result.
It kind of reminds me of a Zelda enemy that's called the Like. It basically just kind of engulfs you and then steals the weapon you're currently using. So you have to switch to another one, and then I think after it's defeated, then the weapon that stole it's dropped. But it gets really annoying if it keeps stealing weapons all the time.
It was definitely interesting, and I liked the, I guess, variety, or the I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, where they attempted to do something interesting, but it did have the drawback of being slightly tedious at times. But thankfully those enemies were few and far between. So
if we're talking about interesting enemy gimmicks, I'm gonna talk briefly about Phantasy Star Online.
Okay. All right. And then I'm gonna continue Dragon Quest after.
Yeah. The final form of the final boss is named Dark Falls. It basically has an attack where he basically kind of like, there's like an image, like basically an image is created of you or whatever, and then whatever damage you do to him is also dealt to you. So if you deal a lot of if you deal like a huge supercharged attack to him, that's, like a lot of damage, like over like several thousand damage. If it can like insta kill you, and that can be annoying.
That sucks.
So you have to be really careful. You have to basically attack them in small chunks and then heal, and then attack them for, some more. But fortunately, that attack does not last for too long.
Nice.
But it's pretty annoying to deal with.
In Dragon Quest, when you get confused, I think they call it fuddled. They have a couple of like funny things. Like in Pokemon, for example, when a Pokemon's confused, they might attack themselves. But in this, they just I after 5 games of Dragon Quest, I mean, obviously after the first couple, I realized this, but after 5, it's kind of like you're really seeing how the humor is sometimes, I guess, tongue in cheek, or they, not necessarily break the fourth wall, but they're very like lighthearted with things, because there's many things that can happen when you're fuddled, like let's say you have a party member and they're fuddled. It could say like so and so decided to take their armor off, right? And all of a sudden they unequip themselves with armor. Just like random stuff could happen when you're fuddled. And another thing I've seen was like your party member, whoever, like I think picked up the enemy and threw them or something. Just like random stuff, like like kind of like thinking outside the box. And one of my favorite things that made me do a double take was in 3. They have a system of not creating your own party members, but hiring different party members. And so I had a warrior, I think they're called a priest. The words changed between the Game Boy and the NES versions, so I get confused what the official ones are, because like I guess like priest versus like not mage, but I just got
cleric.
Yeah, something like that. Like, so I get confused between what they called them, but I think it was like a warrior, a priest, and like a mage. And they were all female, which was awesome. I mean, you can adjust it, but I just thought that was cool.
Waifus.
Yeah, I was like, I'm Erdrick and the waifu gang. So at one point in the game, the warrior got fuddled, and I was like not so familiar with the randomness yet at this point. So I did a double take, and I was like, am I reading this correctly? It was like warrior takes off her armor, Andrew starts blushing or something like that, and I was like, what? It's like she basically took her clothes. I think it might have even said clothes. It was like the warrior took her clothes off, Andrew started blushing. It's like the warrior starts like running around like naked. It's something like that. I like did a double take it, and like the text went by kind of fast, so I missed it. And I didn't get like a good read of it, and that just like blew me away. I was like, what? So it was like
that sounds really silly.
It was really funny. Like, that's the kind of stuff that happens. Like, if you walk up to a mirror in a game, it'll say stuff like, oh, I'll just say the hero, because whoever you are. It's like the hero looked at his face, he stuck his tongue out and made a weird face or something like that, and giggled. So like, they would do something like that, So it's it's kind of humorous with certain things sometimes.
That reminds me of the meta humor and certain kind of silly humor in Earthbound. Earthbound is like the ultimate wacky RPG. Like it's just like over the top silliness. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to complete it because the emulator I'm using is kind of glitching out. Has like it flashes red every few seconds. It's really annoying. But
so it's actually really funny. It seemed like it'd be so dark, or is that just Mother 3?
I have no experience with Mother 3, but Earthbound,
seems like it's an on and off thing.
It's simultaneously dark and also humorous.
Okay.
Because I actually got to the point in the game where basically if you want to go to Threed, or if you want to go to Tucson, you have to basically talk to the sheriff, who basically sends you back to the police station, and you have to defeat 5 of his 5 police officers without being defeated. Like they're basically beating you up, and you have to defeat all 5 of them before he'll let you go to Tucson.
Oh my goodness!
So that's a much more serious part of the game, but there is still a lot of over the top wacky humor in the game, which is pretty unique actually. Like I'm trying to remember specifics, but like some of the enemies, just some of the things they do are just totally wacky and kind of crazy and just silly. It's the best way to describe it.
Okay.
So guys, are you ready to talk about Pokemon?
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh, okay. So we'll wait a little while.
No, we can talk about it. Just that I've never played a Pokemon game in my life.
Really?
I wasn't allowed to.
Wow.
Really? Can I inquire why?
No, I'm planning on getting the new Pokemon game when it comes out. But my brothers weren't allowed to play Pokemon when they were younger, and I wasn't allowed to play Pokemon either. I still haven't played a Pokemon game, so
interesting.
I don't really know anything about it, to be honest. I don't know much about it.
Well, I guess it's always a good time to get into a new Pokemon, I guess. You know, every game introduces something new, while at the same time taking away something from the previous game. So I guess in a sense, every game is unique.
That's the one thing I've realized with Pokemon now, that Sword and Shield has had the debacle that it's had. I was like, man, it sucks that every game that comes out, we're looking at what's going to be taken out. And I am a massive Pokemon fan
temporary,
still, but it's just...
Because as they make new games in the future, like remakes, or let's say, for example, Diamond and Pearl, I would hope that they would add in Pokemon that were taken out, because they'll have more time with the new game, and there's no reason to not code in Pokemon that were already done for Sword and Shield. So I'm hoping that it's just a temporary problem.
I think we got spoiled with Smash Ultimate because they gave us literally all the characters and most of the stages. So we just kind of expect that to be the case with other franchises, and then we get disappointed when there's stuff taken out. Even though that's a perfectly reasonable thing for a game to do.
I have my own thoughts about Sword and Shield, which I will leave for a video because we only have 30 minutes, and I really don't want to take up that time ranting about Sword and Shield.
Are you going to make that video before the game comes out?
Oh yeah, I'm going to. It's one of the first videos on my blog that I need to do. But
let's talk about what's in the game.
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah.
Because
I know you wanted to talk about something.
Oh yeah. Especially after with the trailer came out the day after we recorded last week. So yeah, Obstagoon is amazing. I love that thing so much. It looks so cool, dude. That's one thing I am still happy about, is that most of the new Pokemon, except in my opinion, Impidimp and Duraludon, look weird. I do not like Duraludon. It looks like a giant asthma inhaler dragon. I don't like that.
It looks stupid and cool kind of at the same time.
I actually didn't watch the direct, so I have no idea what you're talking about, but I think after this I'm going to go watch it. I was going to do a reaction for it, but I decided not to.
Okay.
But I'm definitely going to watch it after this, so I'll understand what you're talking about. But
now, Dan, do you play Pokemon Go?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't have a phone, so no.
That's right. But Alpha, you're still playing it, right? I noticed you've been sending gifts to me on and off, so...
That's something else I did. I got 2 shiny Ralts during
last
community week.
I missed out on Community Day.
I didn't get any Slack Off when they came out, so I caught like 30 Slack Off. I didn't get a single shiny, but the very first shiny I found, the very first Ralts I found was a shiny. I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I was freaking out in my car.
My friend was having a get-together for his birthday, so I was... at his house, and we didn't go out anywhere. We were just chilling, so there was no Pokestop or anything. So whatever Ralts appeared sparsely was what I picked up, and none of them were shiny. So I was like, oh well, I guess I missed out on
that.
But remember that new Pokemon. Remember that new trainer that you fight in Sword and Shield that has like a fighter design with like bare feet.
OB. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's my favorite waifu.
Yeah. They were basically.
I'm a Sonya guy, so
they were basically two types of people. There were basically two types of people reacting to B. There was the foot fetish people.
Oh gosh.
And then the people pointing out how much she looks like Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
I mean, why is that wrong though? Why is that a complaint?
The blind girl?
Yeah,
the blind girl.
She does, man.
They have the exact same type. They have the exact same color eyes. They're both barefoot, and they both have those hair bands.
How can they have the same color eyes? Toph is blind.
Toph is blind, but I think B has gray eyes as well.
I mean, maybe
she did. Yeah,
it's possible she's somewhat based on her.
I think they both have gray eyes.
Mm-hmm.
That would actually be pretty funny because Avatar is American, even though it's done in an anime style. So it'd be kind of funny that they would both influence each other.
It's actually animated overseas, anyways.
Well, that's
true. Yeah, but I like Alistair more than B, honestly. If really? I was, I like his design. He looks like a little ghostly shy guy. I like it. He looks cool. But so far, it's Sonya for me. That's my Poke Waifu for Gen 8. I like her. Nessa's cool, and Elena and stuff, and all those girls are cool. But man, and Marnie looks cool. But man, Sonya, just the hair curl.
When Fire Emblem came back to when that picked up, it was because they introduced the whole marriage factor. You think they're gonna have a waifu factor in a future Pokemon game?
I doubt it. I really do. It's a kids game. I don't think they'd ever do that.
I think.
I would love to be able to recruit trainers as like allies at least.
That'd be cool.
But
they kind of did that in the battle tree because you could get like Wally and Cynthia and Lance. Oh no, maybe not Lance, but you could get certain trainers. I guess it sort of works, but not the same. But.
Do you want to say something?
I didn't mean to cut you. I'm sorry.
I think I'm probably gonna get the version of Sword and Shield. I don't remember which one. I think it's probably Sword that has B in it.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because of how much she looks like Toph.
But Sword, have you seen the box art legendaries Zacian and Zamazenta yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I actually.
Zacian and Zamazenta, I think, right?
But actually.
And according to the leak, Eternatus.
Yeah.
I've had this idea for a random crossover, for a couple months now.
And Digimon?
No, it kind of randomly popped into my head. Persona 5 and Avatar.
Huh.
Many of the characters actually have similar personalities. I think they get along with each other pretty well. And I never really came up with it until I think what happened is I was watching something Persona 5 related, and then afterwards I immediately watched something Avatar related, and then my mind just went natural courses and just decided what it would look like if the two universes collided, and then I just kind of came up with that crossover.
It's like, hey, these are both great series. Wait a second.
And actually, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny how similar some of the characters' personalities are. So they basically be best friends if they met each other.
Who would be friends with N?
In particular, I think Sokka would be best friends with Ryuji because they both look kind of similar, to be honest, and they're both like comic relief. They're kind of stupid. I think they get along really well.
So, who do you guys think so far, based on the ones we've seen that are available in the game so far? What do you think your Pokemon team is going to be?
Oh, far,
I can't comment on that. So,
you what?
I can't comment on that because I don't know enough about it. So
true.
Well, there's a couple I'm pretty sure I'm going to have on my team. Corviknight is a must. He's just
looks
so
cool, but I'm not really feeling him too much. Maybe that'll change once I'm playing, though.
Yeah. I'm Team Scorbunny, so whatever its final evolution looks like.
I think I will probably get Scorbunny too.
Mm-hmm. I prefer Grookey.
Okay. My friend Ethan likes Grookey, so. Let's see
but
who
I think
else.
the final evolutions will have a hand in the deciding factor. But I think so far, I like Scorbunny. Like if Scorbunny's final evolution looks dumb and the others look awesome, then I might be more inclined to get one of the others.
Yeah.
Sabo is sobbing because
it's like I can get a Scorbunny later. I mean, it just depends. But usually my first inkling about a character or a Pokemon starter usually goes to the end. I remember Chespin, and I immediately saw him. I was like, okay, these guys are cute, but Chespin though. And then Quilladin was released. I was like, oh my gosh, please turn into something cool. And then it turned into Chespin. I was like, yes, I knew I was right. And then because everybody loved Fennekin and Braixen, and then it turned into Delphox, whose design is lacking to say the least. So.
Greninja, right?
Yeah. And of course Greninja's awesome. I love Greninja, but man, Chestnut, I love that thing. It's like if you took Bowser, Alvin, and Juggernaut and fused them together, and I love it so much. It's goofy, but it's cool, and I love it.
Alvinot.
Exactly. It's like, I'm gonna beat
you. But then he's got to sing a song first, though.
He's gonna come out with his two other brothers and start singing "Christmas Time Is Here." So
while they wail on you,
dude. If its shiny was red and green, that'd be so dope. It'd be such a good reference. But man, oh well. He has a good shiny anyway. But anyway, I'm rambling. But yeah, Corviknight, Scorbunny, Obstagoon. Obviously, how could I forget? Oh,
I'm not feeling Obstagoon so much. I think he's okay looking.
But you have to admit, Galarian Weezing is fancy.
I like Galarian Zigzagoon and Linoon, but Obstagoon, the design is like okay to me. I don't know.
Okay.
He makes me just want to use Lycanroc.
Oh yeah. He does look like Lycanroc.
Like I think Lycanroc Midnight form looks a bit cooler, so I'm leaning more towards that. But I don't know. If he's good, then I might lean towards Obstagoon. I don't know. He seems kind of cool. I'm not against him. I'm just sometimes there are Pokemon that like real stick out to me, and I'm just like, that's going on my team. And I haven't. He's in the might go on my team category.
Okay. I remember. You go ahead. I'm sorry.
I did see pictures of Galarian Weezing on like Facebook and other places. So
good day, sir. Would you like a puff?
Yeah, like he looks so cultured. I think like if he spoke English, he'd definitely be speaking with a British accent.
Weezing. I just love how stupid, but how brilliant it is. It's just like, oh, it's a top hat, but it's a smokestack, and he's got gas mustache and beard. I love it so much. It's so stupid. It's just like a Alolan Exeggutor, but it makes so much sense, and I love it so much. And
I heard somewhere that instead of polluting the air, he actually filters the air.
Yeah, he purifies it. That's why he's fairy type. Yeah. But he also, the gas around his face is that highly toxic gas that spews out of his mouth that he doesn't purify. So whatever comes out of his stack is actually purified air. But he still uses poison attack. So.
Do you think we'll get a Galarian Arbok?
Yeah. Huh?
Do you think we'll get a Galarian Arbok?
That would be so dope. If I had to, if leaks are to be believed, we're going to get that Galarian evolution of Farfetch'd, Surfetch'd. I'm very much looking forward to that because I love Farfetch'd. That thing needs some TLC.
Well, here's about that. Here's a question. Do you think there would be a Galarian Farfetch'd that evolves into Surfetch'd, or do you think there'll just be a Galarian Surfetch'd?
That's a good question.
From a regular Farfetch'd.
That's a very good question. It could. I feel like it might be regular Farfetch'd, kind of like Cubone and Execute.
We still don't know exactly yet if Galarian Weezing evolves from a regular Koffing.
Very true. I feel like it probably will, and it's just like eventually it became a Weezing that took in pollutants and purified them because
kind of like the deal with Cubone and Pikachu and Alola and Execute.
Yeah, and I mean Execute literally takes on different sunlight, and so it somehow awakens the power of the dragon and becomes a 36-foot tall palm tree.
The dragon.
I'm
a 10-foot tall tree dragon.
Dragon. And I love how goofy it is, but man, I love it. Pretty much the only Alolan form I do not like, and I like Alolan Dugtrio because it's weird, but I hate Alolan Persian. It looks stupid.
It's Hey Arnold.
It's like you took this awesome looking Pokemon and you made it fat. I hate it. I hate it so much. But Alolan Marowak is dope as heck.
Well,
I love that
I
thing
think it
so
goes along with the idea of having a big head. But,
very true. And they took it literally. But I was expecting like this really cool, like sleek, vicious looking Puma, and then it's just like Garfield. So it just I mean, and it makes sense for the lore, but it just is a bad design in my opinion. It's just
it's just that head.
I just thought of an idea for Pokemon.
What's that?
They should have a Moai statue Pokemon.
A what?
A Moai
We said
statue.
it
Like
at the same time.
the Easter Island. The Easter Island statues are called Moai statues.
Oh,
That's
they
what
do.
Nosepass is, right?
Nosepass and Probopass. Yep. Probopass looks like an Easter Island head with Mario's hat and mustache. So-
Yeah. I'm talking. Yeah. I'm like those enemies in Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah.
What are those called? They're called.
I forgot what they're called too. You can walk around.
Sunglasses
called
stone
Moais.
guys.
They're called Moais.
They might just be
Oh yeah,
Moais.
Mo Eyes. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's
But
right.
they should have a Pokemon that's based on Moai statues.
I do think that's what Nosepass and Probopass are based off of, at least in part. They're based off of Compass. Obviously, Nosepass, Probopass.
Could be both.
Nose and Probo is nose, and then it's Compass.
I wonder
So
if
it's,
there is.
it's literally
and
nose
we're just-
compass. So
I wonder if there
I haven't
is, and
seen
we're just
them, but-
completely forgetting.
I'll have to send you a picture because they
Yeah.
pretty much look like Easter Island heads. So especially Probopass,
Cool.
because they've got the big nose and they're tall and stuff. But it looks, because it has magnetic properties with its nose, it literally draws in like fine pieces of carbon and stuff, and so it looks like it has a mustache, and it's got a little red doohickey on its head, and it looks like Mario.
Yeah,
But
I
it's
think,
Easter
I
Island
think
head. It's
Nosepass.
great.
I typed in Easter Island head Pokemon, and Nosepass keeps showing up.
Yeah.
And the in the description for it, it says something about resembling the Easter Island statue. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm looking that up right now.
Can you guys hear the vacuum? I hope not.
I
Yes,
can.
I can.
I was like, is it? What's
Oh yeah,
that?
I see what you're talking about. Yeah, they
I'll
do
just
kind
mute when I'm not talking.
Okay.
They do look like Moai statues.
Yeah, and they look great because they're just goofy little rock people, but I like them. I've always liked Nosepass and Probopass. And it's funny because when it does one of its animations, its ears are like hands. The ears on the side of its head, and it like throws them down. And it looks like it's going, "What are those?" Yeah, dude, I did a video about a year ago now, and you've got to check it out on my channel. Oh, it's funny because I took a clip from X and Y's of the Pokedex, and where he goes like, "What are those?" and it's great. Oh, I love it. But the first time I saw that, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he does water those." But yeah, it was great. I loved it. So they're goofy, but I like them. I actually have a shiny Probopass. So
Have you guys looked at any quote-unquote leaks for Sword and Shield?
not lately, unless I think I've watched a few Ruffled Rowlet's videos talking about them, and of course you can only take leaks with a grain of salt. But I think the Galarian Farfetch'd is kind of guaranteed at this point. So
There was a leak that said something about Eevee having a Galarian Eevee form, and that one evolves into different typed evolutions. And I thought that was interesting and lame at the same time.
well, that doesn't make any sense because if Eevee doesn't change its appearance, being across 7 different regions, why would it change appearance in just Galar? That's weird.
You can ask the same about Weezing and
That is
Zigzagoon.
well, maybe it's because. Well, actually, apparently Zigzagoon and Linoon, that's the original Zigzagoon, and it mellowed out when it moved around the world. And I was like, that's actually really cool lore, and why
you
it
can also
moves
say
in a
the same
zigzag
thing
pattern.
about Alolan forms.
True.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And then Diglett moved south, and its hair fell out. So
I mean,
it's just
Raichu changed based on eating pancakes.
yeah,
so.
for some or was it berries? Was it pancakes or
I
berries?
thought they were malasadas.
Pancakes.
Oh yeah. It's like I have awakened the power of my mind by eating this delicious dessert.
Can you imagine like eating something so good that you're just like, oh my god, and then you just like get these psychic powers?
Your house just like explodes off its foundation. It's like,
I'm
what's
psychic
in that
now!
malasada?
When you said pancakes, when you said the guy ate pancakes, I immediately thought Goro Akechi from Persona 5.
I can't decide which Raichu I like more.
Pancakes!
I love the design of the original Raichu, but Alolan Raichu seems to just make the original Raichu useless. But I like the original design more, so I can't decide which one I like more overall.
Which Alolan Raichu has lower attack than regular Raichu, and so Raichu can still use stuff like Volt Tackle and Break better than it can. And so it's got... That's the thing, Alolan Raichu has slightly higher special attack and lower defense and lower attack. It takes 5 points from its attack and defense and puts it into its special attack, and regular Raichu keeps it the same. They're both the same speed, have the same special defense and HP, but Alolan Raichu's a better special attacker, just slightly.
Also,
but regular Raichu's a slightly better attacker.
And regular Raichu, depending on which Pikachu you get, can no surf.
True.
Well,
which Alolan Raichu can too, so hey.
You could say the same, I guess, Alolan Raichu if you evolve it in Alola, because you get
which I want to do because that surfing Pikachu you get shiny.
Pikachu.
So I want to shiny hunt that thing and have a shiny surfing Alolan Raichu. So, because I love that thing shiny. It looks like it just coated itself with Nutella and called it a day. I love it.
Nutella Malasada.
And it's so cute already, and it turns like chocolate brown. It's like, oh, you're so cute. I just want to hug you.
You're making me crazy.
But yeah, for the most part, I love the Alolan forms, and I'm glad. I am glad that Galarian forms are beyond just Kanto. I am very happy about that, and I'm just waiting to see what they bring next, because I'm hoping Stoutland gets some love, because it's Stoutland.
I love the idea of Galarian forms getting new evolutions.
Yeah.
Like Obstagoon, for example.
Yeah, I mean, and Linoon's so overlooked, and now it's like, oh, it's a breath of fresh air. So, and as much as I like Linoon, I am glad they gave Obstagoon. They gave us Obstagoon because it's like, Linoon's cool and all, and it has the belly drum gimmick with Gluttony and stuff with extreme speed, but at the same time, it's still a first route normal type, and only Stoutland can really pull that off well, and sometimes Bibarel. It depends on who you're using. But for the most part, most of the normal starters, normal early route Pokemon are not the best. Of course, they have their place. Furret, Raticate, Bibarel, all those guys have their place. But for the most part, they kind of have that stigma. They're kind of bad. Watchog's a great example of that.
So then the question is, what now that Galarian form evolutions give... it really opens the doors. Are there any evolutions that you guys, or at least you, Alpha, because I guess Apocalypso, you're not too familiar with Pokemon, unless there's some, maybe, if you have any ideas. Are there any evolutions for a Galarian form of something that never evolved before that you really want to see?
I have seen a leak that talked about Galarian Girafarig, and it turns Dark Psychic, and I was like, holy crap, that would be so dope.
That's awesome. Would its tail become the main head?
Yep, it turns around, it becomes the main head.
That's so cool.
If that's true, I'm like, oh my gosh,
totally sick. Actually, it would be cool to see a Galarian Girafarig, just not even evolution, it's just the Galarian form is backwards.
Yeah. Which I wish they did that. It wasn't a Galarian form, that it was actually an evolution, which it may be. Maybe the leak got it wrong. But I would love to see Girafarig get some love. Gen 2 needs a lot of love. They got
Weavile and Dunsparce need some love.
Who?
Shuckle and Dunsparce need some love.
Yeah, Shuckle, I feel like needs a stat boost more than anything. Maybe some HP and stuff, because that's kind of its thing, is it just takes hits. But Dunsparce, Dunsparce.
Wasn't Shuckle like a one-hit killer at one point or something like that?
You can use Power Trick against a special attacker, and because it's using special attacks on you, so it doesn't matter if your defense is crap, because Power Trick switches your attack and defense. So if you have max attack on your Shuckle of 100, it's got a 614 attack, so it will slaughter everything.
You know what I would be okay with? A Galarian Raichu.
Oh, that'd be dope.
Because cool. Raichu is one of my favorite Pokemon, so any Raichu love is awesome to me.
Oh yeah, and that'd be cool if there was a specific Pokemon that actually had different regional forms, and it was just a single Pokemon. Kind of like what they did with Vivillon, where it was caught in different parts of the world and it had a different pattern. But if each generation this Pokemon was there, and it had a different type, it had different abilities and stuff, that would be actually really cool, and you could still transfer it from other generations in its other forms.
Love to see it. I would love to see something backwards, where like a new Pokemon is introduced, but it's actually a Galarian form of something that, like, let's say when a Diamond and Pearl remake come out, or other games remakes come out, when it appears in that region, it has like a Sinnoh form or something like that, you know?
Okay.
I would love to see the reverse of that.
Perhaps the Galarian Raichu can ride skis instead of a surfboard.
It should have,
his tail splits off. That's actually
almost
really
like
cool.
Armored, and like use its tail as an axe, kind of.
That'd
like
be cool.
electric steel, maybe? I don't know.
And it would look like Thor's Mjolnir hammer, or not?
Yo!
No, it'd look like Stormbreaker. It'd have that kind of jagged look. Oh, that'd be so dope, dude.
Like it would still be a tail attached to it, but it'd be holding it in its hand.
Yeah,
like every
dude,
Raichu,
so cool.
every Raichu form would be doing something different with its tail.
But you were talking
and its
about
ears would resemble like like maybe
the
armor
wings.
head or something, you know.
But you were talking about Chris, about how Stoutland should get a different form. Wouldn't it be hilarious if it had these if it had like a long beard and big bushy eyebrows?
Yeah, it looked like Groucho Marx. I was thinking if they gave it just a poofy mustache and like gave it a curly black mustache and made it normal, I don't know. And I actually thought of this for like a Mega Stoutland, if it was like a foo dog and it turned to a normal dragon type and had like fur coat and stuff. I need to draw this and put it on paper because I have so much swirling in my head that I want to put on paper. We're in a video. But yeah, I would love to see Stoutland get some kind of love because I'm biased. I love Stoutland. So even if it just got a mustache cut and made it like all fancy and stuff, and even it had like a fur monocle or something, I don't know. I would love it to be like funny, but also really sensible. But I mean, Stoutland's already an absolute unit, so it doesn't really need doesn't really need help. So
what if Galarian Weezing had an evolution?
That would be interesting.
What if it has?
It just turns into a whole factory.
What if it's like? What if it has like lanky arms and legs and looks really disgusting? And just like walks around like a gentleman.
Hey,
he actually has a cane.
Oh, I start saying I wish Mr. Mime had a Galarian form. It looked like an actual mime, but mimes are common in Paris, not England. So
if that would have been great to have a Kalos region.
Yeah, dude. Mega Mr. Mime, just make it black and white, different face paint and stuff. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. And that's why I don't understand why Shiny Mr. Mime's not black and white. It's like, it's a mime. Why are you green? It's just, but yeah.
I could see like a black and white Mr. Mime as like a Galarian form. Like to actually cool. Look like a mime.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
With like stripes maybe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Have like stripes on his arms and stuff.
And he's Psychic Fairy, so maybe he would be Psychic Dark or something.
True, or maybe normal Psychic. No, I don't know. Normal Psychic. I don't know.
Normal Fairy?
That would make sense because he's just a normal guy, but he's also I don't know, because he's still
he's just normal.
Yeah, I am utterly normal, and so just. But yeah,
normal.
I hope there's some really good Galarian forms.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I could pick any, definitely Gen 2 gives Gen 2 some love. Dunsparce, Girafarig. I would love to see Delibird get some kind of evolution.
Oh, yeah.
That would be dope. Quillfish.
Surebird.
Yeah, dude, yeah.
Yeah. I think I mentioned this last week, but I don't know if you saw, because I did a sketch and put it online. I made Galarian evolutions for Zangoose and Seviper, and I called it Zangard and what was the other one? Sevalier.
I did see those, yeah.
What'd you think?
Those look clean, dude.
Thanks, man. I really want to see something like that. I was pretty proud of the names I came up with, because Zangard is like Vanguard, and Sevalier is like Chevalier or Cavalier or something like that.
That'd be awesome. Like, not only regional forms, but they still keep that same rivalry. That'd be so cool.
Yeah. Like they could, each one is exclusive to one is sword and one is shield.
Yep, and one's armor and one's offense. That would be so cool.
Yeah,
that'd
guard,
be so dope.
and Viper already has the sword on the tail, so it'd be like a bigger sword.
Yeah, it could be like an axe lance thing. It just there's so many possibilities.
Sevalier would be sword, and Zangard would be shield.
Yeah, man, that's why doesn't Game Freak let fans do stuff? Like it's just
because it's too much work for them.
True.
It's too much work to not do work. You know?
Yeah. Again, I have my own thoughts about Sword and Shield.
I'm still gonna get it, and I'm still gonna love it. It's just a little disappointing with certain decisions that were made.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't think there's ever been a truly bad Pokemon game. It's just, you look at it, it's like, this could be so much better. I mean, it's still Pokemon, it's still fun, but it's like, at the same time, it's you gain all this stuff, but you lose all this stuff. I mean, I'll go ahead and tell you, I hate Dynamax, and I wish that we still had Mega Evolution and Z moves, because they're just better mechanics and more interesting in general. Dynamax is just big Pokemans, and I don't like that. It's just, I
understand.
Maybe I'll like it once I use it. But
I would understand if part of the new animation thing they're talking about, new models, was that every Dynamax one had a different model, like upgraded model, because they're bigger. But I don't know. I think they're the same model still. So I don't know.
Unless they're Gigantamaxed, obviously. But even still, most of the animations we've seen are just rehashed from old games. And so, again, I don't want to talk too much on here because I'm going to make a video about it. I don't want to take up time because, basically, you know, I'm kind of upset that a lot of the animations are reused when that's the excuse they gave for not giving us all the Pokemon. So I do think that they could have put all the Pokemon in the game. They had 800 plus on the 3DS data files with walking and running animations. Why can't we get that ported to the Switch? I don't understand.
I think the general consensus might be the word I'm looking for. I think the general thing that people were, somebody...
We should finish up.
Yeah.
We should finish up. We're almost out of time. Ooh.
What?
It's 8:30.
Yeah. I know. I'm trying to finish up.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was I saying? The general idea is, or problem that at least one person had mentioned that caught on, because he's kind of right, is that the models seem to look exactly the same minus textures, so they really only had to update the textures of all the models that already existed.
Yep, so, and that's just...
It's like...
Yeah.
I mean, as big of a franchise and $1 billion, franchise...
$90 billion.
Something, yeah.
So,
You couldn't spare the extra manpower to just update some textures?
Or just hire people. Again, I don't want to talk too much because I got a video, but it's just like, you make billions, just
unless there's something we don't know, like there's some kind of mini game or something where every Pokemon is going to have unique animations doing something. Like, maybe we don't know about it yet. So maybe that excuse works for something in the game that we don't know yet.
Yeah.
But probably not. But maybe.
Before anyone says in the comments, well, the game's not out yet. I know that, but how much does a Pokemon game usually change before it's released? Not much. So I don't know.
I know a lot of them in the wild area have animations for walking around. But that doesn't mean you have to take out, you don't have to have every Pokemon in the wild area, Just port it into the game, update its textures, and it doesn't have to be wild in the game. You could transfer it from a previous game.
Exactly, that's the problem. I'm like, I don't want to I'm not saying I want to catch every Pokemon in Sword and Shield. I just want to be able to bring them up. If I have a shiny I want to see in HD, if I have a Pokemon with the hidden ability I want to transfer up and breed in the new generation. Just the connectivity to the old games is what I enjoy, because it's like, well, I'm in Gen 7, I don't have a hidden ability Tropius with Harvest. Oh wait, I have one back in X and Y. Let me transfer it up through Pokebank. I like the feasibility and ease of doing that. And when you just cut off, we're gonna say half the Pokedex. We don't know how many Pokemon there are, but when you just cut out a swath of the Pokedex, it's just like, well, sucks to be you. We don't have them all, and it just, I hate it, and I really do. And I'm gonna talk about it in the video, but.
Yeah.
Well, I'll leave it at that because, like Dan said, we gotta go. So I could be here all night. So
was there anything else you guys wanted to leave off on?
On a positive note, I am excited about Sword and Shield.
Which one are you getting?
Sword.
Me too.
I like Zacian. Zamazenta looks cool. But I like Zacian. So I just wish his sword was his tail and not his mouth. It just. But anyway.
Well, yeah. That would make sense, right?
If it was more organic looking, or if he had like samurai blades on his paws or something, instead of just a sword in his mouth. It just, at least on Magenta, it's built onto his frame. It's just, then Zacian's just there like, do you like my sword? And just, I don't.
I mean, you can argue the same thing about like Machamp's underwear and belt or something. It's like, where did that come from?
True.
Yeah. or like
Hitmonchan's gloves.
Yeah. Like, you can argue some of the same things for other Pokemon.
I was born with these on. I hatched with these on my hands. These are my hands. I'm not wearing gloves. I just have weird mitten hands.
Swollen hands.
My hands got bit by a Beedrill when I was born. Now they look like this.
Hitmon swole.
My fingers fused together, and then Hitmon's like, well, my whole body fused together. So I need to stop.
Maybe it's boxing. Maybe he was born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline.
Yes. Even though Hitmonlee has no hair. But Galarian Hitmonlee is going to have a top hat and a mustache and a monocle.
He's going to spin on the top hat.
Yes.
Well, let me just say, I still do not have a Twitter. But
you should do that. You should get on that.
At least I have my own Skype now, so
yes.
I do have my own email too. So.
One thing at a time.
I create my own email account for my YouTube channel. So
nice.
So yeah, I have that now.
Anything else you guys want to promote? I don't know.
Just to stay tuned on my channel. I should be having videos up soon, like I said in my posts on my community tab, which, again, just a plug, if you're always curious about where I'm at, usually I'm posting on Twitter or on my community tab, like, hey guys, here's a funny video, hey guys, I'm working on a video, hey guys, go vote for Shantae and Slackers Gaming's poll or something like that. So I'm usually posting on Twitter a lot, more than I usually should. But I also posted my community tab just to give people a heads up. It's like, I don't want to just like bombard people with information, but I want people to know that I'm not just sitting on my butt at home, not doing videos. I'm busy doing stuff. So I usually just give you guys a little, that's usually what I use my community tab for, is updates, so I don't have to put it on Twitter or make a video about it. So
question, when do you unlock a community tab?
I've seen people get it at 5,000. I got it at just over 1,000. It depends. I don't think there's really a set limit. It seems to be around 1,000, but I've seen people get it way later. It just depends on, it's random chance, I guess. So, but yeah,
well,
I unlocked mine probably about 1,100 or so.
Probably gonna take me a while to get there because I'm still only at 20.
Oh yeah, hey man, it took me like 5 years. You're good.
I think I'm at like 200, and I've been there for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I've been a content creator for about 7 or 8 years, and it's just now picked up. So it might take a while, but man, it's worth it when you have a community. It's just it's cool.
I just realized something we didn't talk about today.
What?
Shantae and the Seven Sirens.
Yeah, I love that name.
Snap.
And the what?
The Seven Sirens.
Yeah.
7 Sirens?
Yeah, Shantae and the Seven Sirens.
I didn't hear anything about that.
It does make it a little difficult to say when you're talking about each game individually, because I usually refer to 2 and up by their subtitle to differentiate them. So I'll say Shantae, I'll say Risky's Revenge, I'll say Pirate's Curse, I don't say Half Genie Hero, but this one, do I have to start it with and? I have to call this one's called And the Seven Sirens.
Yeah.
Just call it Seven
Sirens Swimming.
The third one is called Shantae and the Pirate's Curse, but we just call it Pirate's Curse.
Yeah.
So just call this one 7 Sirens.
True.
Oh, really? It's And the Pirate's Curse?
Yes, and the
Yeah.
Pirate's Curse.
Oh.
His mind is blown. Yeah, Melisada.
I have Pirate's Curse on Switch.
I do too. I just need to play it for YouTube.
Also, I'm friends with Papagenos now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was it? Would you call it the Seven Sirens, or would you just call it Seven Sirens?
I would just call it 7 Sirens, just for brevity's sake.
Did you see my tweet in response to it? If anyone's familiar with Family Guy, look at that.
I'm not super familiar. I just know like the mummy, and all that,
Okay.
but
Well,
and the chicken fight. But
I think we
anybody
should
can look at my tweet, and if you get the joke, brownie points to you.
Okay.
Anyway, all the links will be in the description below. If you're not looking at the video, I don't know how the other websites handle the descriptions, but all the links will be in the description. So that's it.
I'm signing up for Twitter now.
Nice.
It should be ready by the time you bring this up. So.
Oh yeah, then you'll have to give me the link.
Yep.
Cool. All right, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
And of course, Greninja's awesome. I love Greninja, but man, Chestnut, I love that thing. It's like if you took Bowser, Alvin, and Juggernaut and fused them together, and I love it so much. It's goofy, but it's cool, and I love it.
Not.
Exactly. It's like, I'm on the beach here.